In this video, we will go over steps about how to find out the market demand function when we are given individual demand functions for two consumers. The same process will work even when we have more than two consumers. So let's begin with inverse demand function instead of demand function, the usual one, and we will see also how we convert inverse demand functions to the demand function. So I want to write inverse demand function and then we will change it into the demand functions. So for the buyer 1, we have inverse demand function, price on the left given as 10 minus Q1. It is easy to reason straightforward to convert it into demand function. I will move Q1 from the right to the left and price P on the left goes to the right. They change their sign. I have Q1 equal to 10 minus P as the demand function. Then I have the second person. The inverse demand is given as 5, P equal to 5 minus 0.5 Q2. And to convert it into demand function, we will have to go through two steps. First, let's move the negative 0.5 Q2 on the right to the left. It will go with a positive sign, so 0.5 Q2, and then I move P on the left to the right, so it goes as a negative sign, 5 minus P. I want Q2 only on the left hand side, so we can multiply both sides by 2 to obtain Q2. Q2 would turn out to be 10 minus 2P. So these are the two demand functions. As you can notice, the buyer 1 will buy positive quantities when price goes below $10, does not buy any quantity when price is above $10. Buyer 2 on the other hand doesn't buy any quantity when price is above $5. So if we look at the market demand for price above $10, I know Q1 is 0, Q2 is 0, so the market demand, which is the sum of these two, is 0 as well. For price between $5 and $10, for price less than $10 and $5 and above, we have Q1 given as 10 minus P. We know Q2 is 0, so the market demand, sum of these two, is only the demand of the first buyer, 10 minus P. Now we can go to the next step. We look at the price which is below $5. Now both the buyers are able to participate in this market. So Q1 is 10 minus P, Q2 is 10 minus 2P. So the market demand, sum of these two, turns out to be 10 minus P plus 10 minus 2P. We get 20 minus 3P. So that's the market demand for all the price ranges. I would like to draw this in a graph, and we will see why having the price on vertical axis, quantity on the horizontal, is extremely helpful in coming up with the market demand or demand aggregation. So let me start with the vertical axis. I want to draw the horizontal axis long enough to be able to take care of all the buyers as well as the cumulative market demand. So I have P here. Let's look at the quantity to be 10 units, price to be $10 per unit. That's the market demand for my first buyer, and I will denote it as Q1. Then now we will draw the market demand for the second buyer, retaining the horizontal axis. So I have P on the vertical. Notice now the second buyer buys nothing if price is above $5 and buys same 10 units when price goes to close to 0. So that's the market demand for the second buyer. And now we want to find out the aggregate quantity. So now I have price above $10, both these buyers buy nothing, so Q is 0. Price between $10 and $5, only buyer 1 is participating, will be buying 5 units. So the market demand for the price between $5 and $10 is the demand for the first buyer. But as we go below, now both the buyers are participating, and then together they buy 20 units. So there is a change in slope at price equal to $5. It was steeper to the left, flatter to the right, and I have quantity Q, which is the aggregate quantity in this market. So this is the way we are able to calculate the aggregate demand. And as you could see, if we have any additional number of buyers, I will keep adding up the quantities for each buyer to come up with the market demand. So suppose I pick a price here. I know quantity bought by the first buyer is a number here. At the same price, I find out the quantity bought by the second buyer, which is a number here. And then I go to the market demand, which shows me the quantity bought in the market is sum of these two quantities. That's how we are doing the market aggregation.